Good evening, my name is Dian. I am the group leader. I have several group members. They are Wei Song, Edmund, Yu Hong, and Da Wei. The topic of our presentation is global inflation effect on Malaysia. Before discussing this topic, what is inflation? Inflation is an economic term that describes a general increase in price and a fall in the purchasing power of money. So what is rise in price? For example, in 1957, you could buy a cup of coffee for 5 cents, while today an average cup of coffee costs 2 to 3 ringgit Malaysia. For example, of falling purchasing power of money is a bucket of goods that cost 100 ringgit Malaysia in 1957 would cost 578 ringgit Malaysia today. They have 6 key takeaways about inflation. 1. A little inflation is normal and even good for a healthy economy. 2. Inflation becomes a problem when it grows too quickly. 3. Money losing value at a rapid rate can lead an entire economy to spiral out of control. 4. All government and central bank try and control inflation with regulation and monetary policy. 5. Inflation is expressed as percentage. 6. Inflation can be viewed positively or negatively dependent on the individual viewpoint and rate of change. Those with tangible assets like property or stock commodities may like to see some inflation as the right raise the value of their asset. Cost of inflation can be classified into 3 types. First is cost push inflation. Price increase when the cost of production increase. Here are some factors that can lead to cost push inflation. 1. Increase in price of raw material. 2. Natural disaster. 3. Scarcity of a resource. 4. Low and unemployment rate. 5. Increase in mandatory wage. 6. Government regulation. 7. Rise in business debt. 8. Declining productivity. Second is pull demand inflation. Price increase when demand increase faster than production. Here are some factors that can lead to demand pull inflation. 1. Growing economy. 2. Inflation expectation. 3. Increase in the money supply. 4. Low interest rate. 6. Government spending. 7. Tax cut. 8. Innovative. 8. Marketing. 9. Unbalanced recovery from a downturn. Third is built-in inflation. Workers want higher wage to keep up with the cost of living. When price rise due to cost push or demand pull inflation, people expect higher wage so they can keep their lifestyle and standard of living. Higher wage make company increase the price of their goods and service. This raise the cost of living and make worker demand higher wage. Thank you.
My name is Wei Song. Now, I want to present about the global inflation lead to increased cost for living. So, why inflation will let the chicken price increase? This is because linking Malaysia devaluation. As we know, trade in Malaysia is done by US dollar and that chicken in Malaysia that eat foreign plant and corn. So businesses to pay more money to transact. Another reason is chicken stock is limited by demand increase. So businesses make the chicken price increase to let the demand decrease. Next is why vegetable price increase. This is because most vegetable import from other country. Malaysia only focus on industry and neglected agriculture many years. This caused many farmers to abandon growing vegetable. They grow rubber tree or pineapple tree because they are more valuable than grow vegetable. So my present is finished. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Dan In Hong. Today I will present about global inflation leads depletion of foreign exchange in Malaysia. First of all, war between Ukraine and Russia have disrupted the global market supply chain. It causes Price of all materials plunges higher. It also causes the subsidy action from the government increases to maintain the prices of all materials in Malaysia. The main income of Malaysia is from petroleum and palm oil. The competition between Malaysia and Indonesia palm oil quality and quantity has caused a fall of palm oil price. Competition between palm oil. The table I was presenting is about total world palm oil production between 1995 to 2025. On our observation, the graph show that between 1995 to 2005, Malaysia palm oil production is higher than Indonesia. However, after 2010, Indonesia started to overtake Malaysia in palm oil production. This causes Indonesia palm oil is more attractive than Malaysia because it is in larger quantity and quality. Thus, it will have challenge for our nation to gain more foreign exchange income on palm oil production.
Good day, Miss. My name is Edmund Tan Chi Kiat. In this video, I will present the part of global inflections leads the business to facing the rising costs and downside risks to economic growth. First, how does the inflation affects the companies? As inflation has led to rising price in our country, while increasing the risk of business operation, the risk of the bank loans has also increased significantly. Therefore, the state has begun to control the corporate loans. Enterprise payables also stipulate with the rising price. At the same time, enterprises have also experienced that the phenomenons of the increased purchase cost and some substantial depletion of the monetary assets. Therefore, if enterprise want to ensure the normal operations of productions, they need to convert their monetary assets into the required production materials. But the effect is not evenly distributed like extensions goods are therefore less effects or even increase. For example, business, especially essential ones, will see no fall off in demands. This is because the people have to use things like rice, gasolines, and soup. They need to be consumed relatively quickly, and when the price go up, people still need to use it. But generally, essential goods doesn't see a hard change in demands when price risings. Thank you. That's all for me.
Hi, madam. My name is Dawei, and now I'm going to continue the conclusion part. Inflation rate for a lot of countries is increasing due to the supply-demand imbalance and policy support during the pandemic. Even now, the crisis of the Russian-Ukrainian war comes at this time when all the countries are working hard to cover the damage to the economy caused by the pandemic. For a more comfortable life, people require a wide variety of items as well as a variety of service. The rising commodity price cause people to spend more to enjoy. For the poor people, it will even be hard to afford the basic necessities like food and habitat because of the rising food and transportation fee. To reduce the inflation rate, first, reducing aggregate demand from the market. For example, interest rates are raised at the central bank because higher rates make saving more appealing because the bank will give more return when the people save their money in the bank. So the consumption will be reduced and increased to lower inflation. Meanwhile, higher interest rate make borrowing more costly because higher interest will be charged by the bank, so the people reduce the investment activities such as buying property, and the inflation will be lower. Second, the government can increase tax on the people, especially in the luxury industry. This helps to reduce the demand in the market and improves the government budget condition. However, these are only the short-term ways to decrease inflation. The unpredictable, such as the economic growth, may drop further and inflation may be higher than expected if sanctions are extended to the Russia oil export. The COVID-19 might spread further and produce mutant strains that are more dangerous and resistant to the vaccination, resulting in repeat lockdowns and affecting productivity. As a people, what we can do is to work hard, make money, and save money to reduce the pressure of inflation. That's all from us. Thank you.
So first question is inflation good or bad?
For this question, too much inflation is generally considered bad for an economy, while too little inflation is also considered harmful. Many economists advocate for a middle ground of low to moderate inflation of around 2% per year. Generally speaking, higher inflation harms savers because it erodes the purchasing power of the money they have saved. However, it can benefit borrowers because the inflation-adjusted value of their outstanding debt shrinks over time. That's all for me.
Thank you. The second question is, what are the effects for inflation?
Thank you for your question. Inflation can affect the economy in several ways. For example, if inflation causes a nation currency to decline, this can benefit exporters by making their goods more affordable when priced in the currency of foreign nation. On the other hand, this could harm importers by making foreign-made goods more expensive. Higher inflation can also encourage spending as consumers will aim to purchase goods quickly before their price rise further. Savers, on the other hand, could see the real value of their saving erode, limiting their ability to spend or invest in the future. That's all.
Thank you. The third question is, why is inflation so high right now?
For this question, that is because in 2022, infection rates in the US and around the world rose to their highest level since to yearly 1,980. While there is not single reason for this rapid rise in the global price, a series of the events work together to boost inflation to such high levels. The COVID-19 pandemic in yearly 2020 led to the lockdown and other restrictive measures they greatly disrupted global supply chains from factory closures to bottlenecks at the maritime ports. At the same time, government issued stimulus checks and increased the employment benefit to help the brands the financial impact of this measure of individual and small business. When COVID vaccines became widespread and the economy rapidly bounced back, demands quickly outpaced supplies, which still struggle to get back the pre-COVID levels. Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine in early 2022 led to a series of economic sanctions and trade restrictions on Russia, limiting the world supplies of oil and gas. Since Russia is a large producer of fossil fuels. At the same time, food price rose as Ukraine's large grains harvest could not be exported. As fuel and food price rose, it led to similar increase down the value chains. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Last question is, how does the Malaysia governor deal with inflation in Malaysia?
On 20th June 2022, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob announced that the cabinet had agreed to form a special task force to help Malaysian families face the rising cost of living. Ismail Sabri said the main role of the special task force is to gather all information from ministry, agency, and the public, and to formulate strategy and coordinate action to resolve issues relating to inflation, especially in controlling price hiking more efficient and effectively. Communication and Multimedia Ministry Tan Sri Anwar Musa is the chairman of the task force and said that would give attention to all price of goods and service that could contribute to the increase in the inflation rate apart from chicken, egg, and cooking oil. The task force will also strengthen cooperation among various agencies and will be expanded should the need arise. Several agencies will also be included such as Bank Negara Malaysia, Police Diraja Malaysia, and a group of consultants who have the experience to provide view and advice to the task force, especially on measures that can be taken. In Parliament last year, the government approved subsidy totaling 33 billion ringgit Malaysia for 2022. But looking at the trend of price hiking, the Ministry of Finance had projected the actual subsidy to be over 70 billion ringgit Malaysia. That's all for me.